Training Center. Prof and Superintendent, good morning to you both. All right, I want to start with you, Superintendent. A quick update about the cause of the accident.
Please, you are breaking. Can you please speak up a bit?
The police determined to be the cause of that accident.
Good morning. Very preventable. And the causal factors are also generally human. He broke down not beyond 20 minutes. And the driver, in the process of trying to fix, decided not to display a warning triangle at the rear, about 50 meters away from this. It's also clear that it was a multi method I was following. Also, could have avoided it if the driver was led to now 3 persons and 5 so injured. So, basically, as how far?
Any arrests?
Oh, yes, the driver of the articulator truck is in our custody and is forthcoming with fight in the process. So, they are now dealing with the driver of the articulator truck that got broken down.
Okay. And, minutes of it
yeah,
breaking down?
Thereabout.
Right. That's because what the police investigation has determined?
We suspect that they didn't display the advance warning triangle. And they also to alert the police.
Right.
As we have always been saying, that police cannot be everywhere. But in certain instances, it is incumbent on the driver to know. And that's why we always inform our motorists that 112 to reach out to us, and we will be able to come to your aid in whichever form. We know that we don't have the towing truck of these vehicles to support our recovery and towing. In other instances, we will come there and support with reflective materials to ensure that oncoming traffic and control to avoid these preventable air pollution.
Yesterday, we heard from eyewitnesses who suggested that the truck verified how long it was there, or is this the account of the driver, that he was there for just 15 minutes?
As I said, in fact, when
Right. Okay. Prof, I want to bring you in because I know we have a limited amount of time with you. This is just the latest in a series of disturbingly increasing number national security perspective. How big a problem is this really? Do we really understand the magnitude of this problem of road accidents that we're facing?
Yes, if you kindly repeat your question.
Okay, I was asking whether as a nation we are really grasping the magnitude of the problem when it comes to our road.
Well, this is a problem that has been ongoing for a long time, and it's going to get considerably worse, much on the cumulative cost of road traffic accidents on Ghana. That is beginning to pose an existential threat. Now, the figures in terms of lives lost, I think the figures are now around 1.6% of GDP.
Yes.
If we use warfare analogy, and those who are hurt are in their probably tens of thousands, the average calculus is about 3.5 to 5, even much more lost income, investments in education, in capacity building that they're talking about has become so massive, and of course the criminal aspects to it, that we need to elevate us, other specialist individuals, to come in to provide the support, the thinking, that we need. And it's not just about the Ministry of Transport, our consciousness around road traffic accidents to a much higher level, just as we have elevated the pandemic
factor. The irresponsibility of drivers, the attitude and behavior of drivers, with certain Ghanaians as laws to be abided by. How have we sunk to this point, and is there a way back out of it as part of all? Seriously.
I like your question and the way you've ended the period. One is the enforcement, traffic choke points, and the light says green, go. The police officer says stop, and write about the importance of road traffic regulation, signage. Okay, so if you were the MTT officers who are on the road are not looking to no. Okay, so that those who should enforce the rules themselves are either not cognizant of the rules or it becomes generation. So for me, look, we shouldn't reinvent the wheel. Proper training, but according to the rules that exist. This is not rocket science. To provide operational assessments. Okay, so in region, how do we assess the performance of the officers who are out there in terms of cautions, arrests, prosecutions? Okay, but right now, area that they should report on. So that is something that were there to be a national conversation around it, I would suggest that we need to develop. The second, I don't think Parliament's Committee on Transportation, if there's any such thing, has ever invited increasingly undermining our efforts at developing this country, securing our investments, and delivering the protection and applying the law and playing their oversight roles as one who much worse. Because the carnage, the indiscipline, the abuse of the use of flashing lights and sirens is just man who uses a flashing light, or the men and the women that our taxpayers' money pay for them to protect us. Something must give and something must change. But this cannot be allowed to continue anymore. This goes beyond security and is beginning to threaten right from the individual to Scandinavian partners. And you ask them, what is the greatest resource that you have? Most will tell you is human being. Security side, it encompasses economy, it encompasses our developmental schemes, it encompasses the family, community cohesion. The COVID had killed the number of people that have died last year and this year. If HIV, we would have found extra budgetary resources to ensure that the carnages Ghana about the interventions that they are making similar to the COVID intervention. Okay, so it's more than just what we see on the roads. Our very survival, our peace of mind is actually under. That is the danger. And when we create societies of fear and uncertainty because we are not sure of what will happen on the roads.
Superintendent Obing, I want to put something to you that Prof. Inning just mentioned. Talked about the fact that the MTTD officers, well, they don't seem to be properly trained when you meet them on the financial transactions. Is this a training problem? I'm asking you this bearing in mind you are academics. Hello? Prof. Inning, you're still with us?
Yes, I'm still with you.
Wonderful. So now let's look forward. At this point, since it's a thing that is done, and who should do it? Which stakeholder? Is it government, police, the people? What is the first step?
Awareness and recognition that human lives matter, and that we have a responsibility, a way to place the human being at the center of our actions. That as I sit in my car, the back of my car's lives are as equally valuable as that kid who wants to cross the road. Parents on time, but any other school child walking along that road is chaff. So attitudes not change, behavioral change. Two, that of a region of a district metropolitan municipal police section to be able have brought about in terms of reduction in careless driving, accidents, ensuring that asking people what is in your eyes, chest, in your boot, open your bag, does not generate confidence in sharing information. Number three, there should be a hotline chain. Number four is better training. Both in terms of the licensing. Parliament should be up and doing quick. That transport committee. Let's see you do some action for us. Call those who matter. Okay? So there are categories of vehicles on our motorbikes, on our bicycles, and get onto the roads.
I want to thank you for that, Professor Kwesi Enin of the Kofi Annan International Peacekeeping Training Center. We lost the situation.
I agree with him. So, since the first quarter of this year, and surprisingly, the more we talk about this, there seems to be very little change. Let me join the lanes. Apparently, there's a problem with the brake of the truck. Nobody knew it.
Wow.
Somebody basically got out of the truck and was telling people to leave where that truck came from. But obviously, if our systems worked better and officials on the stretch knew what was happening, somebody would have standing there at the Unity Oil said, Mudiasa, Debiasa.
Wow.
So he's convinced that this is not a one-off thing. It's something the journey.
Yeah.
I was thinking that this is a big problem. That you cannot stop the car when it's supposed to be stopped and control it the way your car was in the driver to stay away from this particular car so that we are not in any danger at all. Until we branched off. Ask yourself how many cars like this are on our road enough.
Yeah.
The police, and I said this yesterday, so far as I'm concerned, anytime I'm heading home, the cars that the police stop are the ones with the DV plate. Then it happens to be that they are let go. This is not enforcement. This really is enriching yourself at the that the policemen don't know what they're supposed to do on the street. It's because they are finding ways to enrich themselves and they don't on the road. Nobody's prosecuting them for that. So because that has not happened, and we all see it, we all talk about it, but to the fact that people are being complicit, they are not reporting their own, end up accounting, we are told, to the big boss, and they share it.
Omoye sales.
Yes. We get it. They also have family members. So by the time you're on the street, your child is in school somewhere, in somebody's car, using a transportation system, if it's your wife, your family member, and you will also be one of the victims in this case. So it doesn't only affect poor people. It doesn't only affect who were not before. So we are all affected. And I agree with him once again that we need to see this as an existential threat in the year. And if you take it throughout, 8 times what they call it 4 will mean that 3,000 in the state.
In a year.
And I'm beginning to stop calling it accidents because crashes. And when the UK wanted to really, if we know that a driver was grossly negligent, contributed massively to what happened and led to loss of lives, people are prosecuted for it.
Yeah.
I am hoping to see what I respect Superintendent Obin a lot, but I mean I think it's completely unreasonable for anybody to think that. So what did Akable see when he was going home? It happened around 4. There's no way you can conclude that way. But one grouping that should be, we have cameras there around that same spot. We have cameras, danger that they present to other road users there. And one more thing. We know the speed limits on our stretch. I agree that if indeed drivers are traveling within the speed limits, accidents will be reduced.
I hope we get Superintendent Obing back because I certainly want to probe a little bit further some of the details that the police, that he is informing us of. 15 minutes, dear. I really want to know how deeply the police probed. That, so,
yeah,
I mean,
it's easy to determine that, and it's not something that we should hackle over. And with all due respect, the police that use the stretch, the police station close by. So this, I mean, I agree that
time.
Yes, I agree that me, the Ghanaian, could have been complicit by not reporting it, not being removed from office, but being complicit and being incompetent in saving the lives of the people.
So no police officer came to... We need to know more. We need to know more. Thank you for that, Ray. And there's more. Okay, we're going to talk about safe roads. What are the things we need to have in place to play the role that we dream they should play? In other parts of the world, is it speed ramps that they use to control traffic on highways? Every corner. No. On our highways. Accra to Cape Coast, Accra to Kumasi, Accra to Ho. Is that Engineer Mahama about that?
Are we not inverting the thinking around this? Ordinarily, the thinking was that speed ramps were not meant for those places. But because apparently we have a special highways and the other places, so they ought to be regulated by speed ramps too, so that even when they tell them not to go by this speed limit, they will not follow it.
They'll think we have to actually do things that are
the opposite way.
Yes, we have to do things the opposite way in order to control
our behavior.
Somewhere. For getting back with us. Let's get an update on the other accident as well that happened in Accra, the one at 37. Hello? Oh, I think we need to clean up that line. We need to clean that one up. So the 37 accident, Ray, that one is what... what exactly? I mean, 37. You would think that is one of the better constructed between each lane crossing. You would think that is the area in which you are least likely to
any accident will happen and result in casualties like the ones you have counted yesterday. Is less likely, but we know that our people have rules. The ones that protect our lives too, we cannot follow, and that virtually every day. And imagine you living at airport and going to, let's say, cantonments, and just have to use massive risk on the way. And again, I am still thinking that maybe when we remove them from there's been accidents, it's because human beings have deliberately decided to kill each other on the roads, and they have become like warlords on the roads.
So, Prof. Enin also gave a certain example of MTTD officers at traffic light, and they let those whose light is red, go by, and that somehow that perhaps is also eating into the psyche of your average Ghanaian.
The times I've seen the police do things like that is when they suspect that there's a problem in the traffic light, and that the light is not sending the right signals that it's supposed to send, and some system with the kind of policemen that we have in our country to sometimes put in their own rules and reinvent the system in a way they feel is more. This will not be a problem. It's because we know the kind of people we are, we know the kind of police we have in this country. That is why immediately our interest ahead of anybody's own, they can put their personal money gain and interest in it. They already see. Now, one of the things people struggle with is, when do I obey the rules and get home early? Because they're not going anywhere or doing anything reasonable just to get home early enough, more than just to show that they have the mind to be able to bulldoze their way through. If we check who is doing what is wrong.
Yeah. So yesterday I talked about how in other parts of the world, heads would roll by now. People would resign, people would be fired, people would be investigated, and there are so many questions to ask. There for 15 minutes, everything we have heard is contrary to that. But anyway, how could it have been left there for whatever period?
True text.
Yes.
And yet there were no triangles in the car.
Exactly.
And what could have happened is that perhaps...
How come the lights were off in that area? Even the lights that are needed for the life and death activity of driving on a 3-lane highway. There would have been several points at which questions would be asked, investigations would be done, people would resign, people would be fired, people would be prosecuted. Your voice and thoughts on this when we come back from these all-important messages from our partners, including our dear friends at CalBank.
You've built, the business that was bred from years of your hard work, or even that dream car that you finally call your own. But with one bank, you can conveniently protect your properties against future financial losses. So be rest assured and head with CalBank. For more information, call us toll-free on 0800 500 500. You can also visit any of our branches or agents near you to sign up.
CalBank, forward together.
CalBank, forward together.
The cousin, the niece who's allergic to everything.
No, thank you. I'm allergic.
The work buddy. Savor moments together with Coca-Cola. This advert is FDA approved.
Enjoy improved benefits. Talk to us today by calling 0501 285827 or 0302 766633. You can visit
Land and House Ownership Scheme by the Ningo Prampram District Assembly and its partners, supported by the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development. Now and own a home or a fully serviced land. Wait a minute too. Don't forget to join our affiliate housing cooperatives also. Special offers last until 31st March 2021. Call us on 055 55 3300 or 056. Website newaccra.city. Plant City Extension Project, shaping Ghana's urban future.
I always they tell you, see, for decorative roses and codices, the solution be interface. Them have different important
interface right now before I lose this customer.
Interface Limited is the leading supplier and installer of finishing input.
www.interfacelimited.net. Facebook, Interface Limited GH. Instagram, interface.limited.
Syndicated Capital introduces the Silent Night range of luxury mattresses and pillows, and for the first time, support feeding your baby. No more sleepless nights and no more hustle with breastfeeding. Check out the Super Pillow Top Orthopedic Mattress, made with 12 inches of memory foam cushioning, providing unparalleled comfort and guaranteed to last for 20 years. No mattress comes close in comfort and support. Also available are high-quality bird sheets, available at all Melcom shops, game stores, and Silent Night showrooms at Tema, Asylum Down, Adenta, Spintex Road, and Kumasi behind Minshia Palace, or call 0302 24253 like never before.
DSTV has millions of stories to inspire you for anything you do in your everyday life.
Girl, I go take you to Ghana. Girl, I go take you to Tema.
He's been watching Aquaba Magic on DSTV. Get 48 Ghana cedis a month. DSTV Ghana. It's your moment.
Let me call you right back. The niece who's allergic to everything.
No, thank you. I'm allergic.
The work buddy that finishes the last of the Coca-Cola. This advert is FDA approved.
Runners. You know me.
On Joy 99.7 FM.
But it won't last. Look that white girl in the face, told her this was our last dance. Goddamn. Being got my heart racing. Yeah, I don't have the nominations. You can blame that on my occupation. Caesar salad, Caesar's palace. You're not a boss, little nigga, because you should roof, mother break pads.
Best life I live. Big cars, big cribs. Speed it. I'm speed. I'm speed it.
For I got you. Read between the lines of your ears like Fantasia. Yeah, hit between the eyes, he died, they can't save him. I'm weaving, no, but I'm speeding, staring at the skyline. I got $1 million on my deals with a dime piece.
Best life I live, big cars, big cribs. Told me young and I was talking door. I'm speeding, I'm speeding. In the living room watching the grind.
You're welcome back. You're welcome back. And look, should heads rule? That's the question we're asking. We want to hear your innings area of expertise. Okay? Bear that in mind and then consider the gravity of somebody like that saying that our road accidents are now an existential threat. Please, to say it in another way, they are a threat to our existence.
As humans.
As human beings. 18 people dead in one day. Now, Ray, I know you have some details to share with us, but first, let's take a few calls. The number 0302 1. I want to hear your voice on the show. We all do. So, who do we have on the line? Hello, good morning.
Yes, I can hear you. Good morning.
Good morning to you, sir. What's your name?
My name is Asameni. I've been driving on our route in Ghana since 1995. And I think it's only the Upper West, I believe police is one of our very big problems. And I want to contribute this. There was my issue here is this. As you were saying, speed ramps are on our highways, going from all the other places. Is that in vehicles, in other motorbikes and all that, to be on the roads constantly, patrolling police.
Hello?
They are careful as to how they Accra to Okuba. I got to this place where they were running these checks just after the Aimensa toll booth. So I just tried to give way to the cars that are following me. I go on the SAM and say, yes, So I get off my bike.
Hello?
He asked me where am I. I said, I'm going to. I said, well, I don't sell water. And he got offended and said, but you understand what I'm saying? And probably he said, oh, our police, the training, the psyche, everything, as you said, they are there to enrich their pockets. And we have to face it.
Mine is not great. We apologize for the interruptions there, but we get the general idea. Ray, who else have we got on the line?
Justice from East Legon.
Justice.
Let's start by asking you this question. This country, do we get heads to roll? We don't get it. It will be strange to show commitment to this issue, just as he did to Galamsey, even though he's not such. People in high authority, people who think that because they are rich, road is starting from the top. And we can only curb it when those at the top also react other vehicles following them because they are paving the way for them. Why can't the government bring a halt? Talking to the police officer, Mr. Bain, that man is frustrated, I'm telling you. I had the opportunity to have a chat with him. I caught up with him at East Legon under the bridge one. As soon as you arrest somebody, you get a phone call from that person that released that vehicle. So the police, apart from they being one should do what is right, but he's frustrated. And until the government, the president himself, step into this, as he's handling the law into our hands and do what is right. Thank you, Kojo.
Well, it really shouldn't get to that. Thanks for calling.
Thank God. Yeah, so Kojo, I think as human as we always think that the driver goes on. Do they even ask themselves, what if the next accident is my family member? That. And so it doesn't matter. I think if we began to take responsibility and see that it could be me who would have died in that accident, children who have turned into armed robbers, children who have turned into prostitutes, into other things because they've lost their breadwinners in accidents, are gone. Their children, what are they going to do? Meanwhile, the country is not even ready to cater. Say Baba, you don't know whether that's your last. Because you know the road you are going to ply is just another thing. Whether you are a pedestrian or you are in a vehicle, we are all not safe. Find the reason the accident happened. Then we won't go anywhere. But if you take responsibility that, yes, I didn't do my virtue, we are doomed. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Rukaya. Let's very well indeed. Thanks
a
for
very
calling.
important topic dear to our heart. Could you, the carnage on the road? I was driving from Kaswa. I got to Jowlu. The traffic light was on, very, very thick. So in the course of the process, red. So I had to stop. Then there was a chance, so I had to move so that I can give way to those who are going. There was this, my uncle was in the car. We were all in goggles, black. I parked. Then he said, bring your license. I said, did I move? Then I told the policeman, if you don't leave me, I will arrest you. Because can you imagine? Shocked that somebody can threaten a policeman like that because he's from America. That's how it's happening in our country.
The policeman,
he ran away. My uncle was shocked that how can somebody threaten a policeman because he knew what he was doing was wrong. Kojo, the sirens on the road, I think we should have a dedicated line. A dedicated line, Kojo, a dedicated line. So that we all be safe. Sometimes I fight it. Now I'm going to travel. I was driving and I met potholes. In front, I saw that cars were branching off. I said, what is wrong? What that? I got down. I took the stone. All those there were clapping for me. What is this? Nobody can take responsibility. God, Ghana needs to wake up. The carnage is too much. Ghana needs to wake up, Kojo.
He's in Accra. Hi, Kwame. Good morning.
Hello, Kojo. Good morning.
Thank you for calling, Kwame.
Thank you. I think that big value chain, the police is just one of the agencies that operate. Let me just give a small analysis. Goes to registration. They go to do the registration. At the place of the registration, a lot happens over there. There are a lot of things that are overlooked. The issue of how did the driver obtain his license? What sort of training did they get? How frequent are commercial drivers trained Then they come to the road. This is where they encounter the police. Then the police do their own things. So if you look at the expect a right outcome when the processes of getting vehicles on our road and getting to about building dual carriage roads and things, those are medium to long term. There are short term breaks down for 20 minutes. Somebody ought to alert the police. The car ought to be towed. With the vice president is there, most of these accidents will be dealt with. When a commercial vehicle sets on the road, police station arrest the driver. I mean, it may be simple, but it's not simple. This digitization, vehicle owners will be happy to contribute or pay. I mean, the mobile service units.
I get your point. Thank you very much for sharing. Let's go to Bawe. Here's Comfort. Good morning, Comfort.
Speedometers in the commercial vehicles just vanish as soon as drivers set in. We go to a place where the driver is supposed to drive about 50 kilometers. He was not even aware of 40 kilometers. And then I also observed that the markings on the road, the drivers are not aware of it. There was this joking mark, and I actually said, people from the road safety joining the vehicles as the vehicle moves, and then they'll be monitoring them as they go along. Those who, after that, will charge them for the harm that they've done on the road. That's my suggestion.
Good morning, David.
Good morning, Kojo. How are you doing?
Not bad at all. How's Kumasi?
Not bad, Charlie.
I miss you guys.
From here, they know me now. Convoy was involved in an accident on that 37th Street. Can you remember the exact point?
I wasn't actually here at the time. I read about it online.
If a president's convoy was involved in an accident, someone ran into the convoy, Kojo, this should have been a wake-up call from that time. I'm not. So if you say you want to be a police officer and you are deployed to go to the road and check driver's license, and you decide to check something else, will be a bribe one receipt to that. Sometimes let's just be real. Okay, how is it difficult to employ the services of mystery shoppers and make sure that when they bring their friend people and we don't stop, people will start to learn. Those who feel they can't adjust to the system, they will have to resign. Could you because from what I'm seeing, those who are the gatekeepers, those who are put in place to make sure that things work, are not doing their work. About work, they are more interested in salary. So if there is nothing to put these people in check, let's just forget it. We are not going anywhere. Thank
you all for speaking with us and sharing your thoughts and views. There's hope. Okay, we're going to Lekma next. Ray, are you ready?
Yes, we'll be doing that. There's an interesting point you need to know about. In 2018, remember that the musician Ebon with the problem.
I remember.
They brought out recommendations, largely 3 points. The main one was that they were training and sensitization and training. And the next one was that the committee asked for approval of a proposal by the Ghana Police Service to enable the hand speed, red light, and related traffic offenses. So we see the cameras there. So move disabled vehicles from the road. So in 2018, we agreed that stationary vehicle was never supposed to be there.
So Ray, I suppose that might be a clue as to why.
What the Interministerial Committee sought permission from the cabinet level, which was approved. And let's not forget, if we see the cameras there, we have no excuse why we cannot remove stationary vehicles.
But Ray, the cameras are there.
Yeah.
The cameras will photograph you. And then what? Where will you go and find to locations?
If the Ghanaian police system want to work, they have shown that they can work in so many instances. They have done, they will find you.
That's one thing if you are tracking down one person at a time. But look at the number of people who violate our road, regulation. We have no excuse for not solving our problems, however big they are.